Amy Roloff is sad at the fate of her family. Today, Amy Roloff and Chris Murik divorce. I will explain everything. Never miss this video. Today, we're diving into a story that has had many fans of the hit show Little People, Big World talking for quite some time. It's the story of Amy Roloff and Chris Murik's relationship, their marriage, and the unfortunate news of their divorce. Buckle up, because this is going to be quite the emotional journey. Let's get into it. Amy Roloff, a household name in reality TV, first rose to fame as a star on TLC's Little People, Big World. Born on September 17, 1964, Amy has lived her life with a rare form of dwarfism known as achondroplasia. Despite facing physical challenges, Amy has always been a fierce advocate for living life to the fullest, and she's become an inspiration to many. Fans have watched her grow and evolve over the years, both on and off the screen. Amy was married to Matt Roloff, her co-star on the show, for over 2 decades. Together, they raised 4 children, creating a blended family dynamic that captivated viewers. However, after many years of ups and downs, Amy and Matt decided to separate in 2015, and their divorce was finalized in 2016. The dissolution of their marriage was a heartbreaking moment for fans, especially after seeing the couple's highs and lows throughout the series. While the divorce was painful, Amy remained a central figure on the show and slowly started to rebuild her life. After her split from Matt, Amy began dating a man named Chris Murik, a longtime friend of the Roloff family. Chris, who works as a real estate agent, quickly became a fan favorite for his kind heart and gentle demeanor. Amy and Chris' relationship seemed to blossom, and it was clear that Amy had found someone who truly made her happy. The couple's dynamic was heartwarming to watch. Chris was supportive of Amy as she navigated her new life after the divorce. Viewers saw Amy become more adventurous, taking on new challenges, including traveling with Chris, going on hikes, and attending different events. Their chemistry was undeniable, and they even shared some special moments on screen, including their engagement. In 2019, after several years of dating, Chris popped the big question. Amy said yes, and the couple became engaged. The engagement was a major milestone for Amy, who had previously been married to Matt for 27 years. Fans were thrilled for her, as they had seen her go through so many ups and downs, and they felt she truly deserved a happy ending. The couple's engagement was celebrated by fans and the Roloff family alike. Amy and Chris' bond seemed to deepen, and they started making plans for their wedding. Despite the challenges they had both faced in the past, it was clear that they were ready for this new chapter in their lives. In 2021, after 2 years of being engaged, Amy and Chris finally tied the knot. The wedding was a beautiful, intimate event held on Roloff Farms, the same property that was the backdrop for many significant moments in Amy's life. It was a moment fans had been eagerly waiting for, and it was everything fans had hoped it would be. The couple's wedding was full of emotion, joy, and love. Amy looked absolutely radiant in her wedding dress, and Chris couldn't stop smiling. The couple exchanged vows in front of close family and friends, and even though the wedding was relatively small, it was incredibly meaningful. It seemed like Amy had finally found the love and happiness she had long deserved. However, like many relationships, Amy and Chris faced their own set of challenges. In the years following their wedding, it became clear that the pressures of public life and adjusting to married life had started to take a toll on their relationship. Despite their love for each other, things weren't always perfect behind closed doors. Rumors started circulating about issues in their marriage, and fans began to speculate. While the couple did their best to keep their personal lives private, the pressures of living in the public eye were undeniably tough. Even though they tried to work through their problems, the cracks in their relationship began to show. In early 2025, fans were devastated to learn that Amy and Chris had decided to separate. After nearly 4 years of marriage, the couple's divorce was confirmed, sending shockwaves through the Little People, Big World community. Amy made a heartfelt post on social media, explaining the decision and expressing her sadness. In her statement, she acknowledged the love and support they had shared, but revealed that ultimately they had grown apart. Both Amy and Chris spoke about how difficult the decision was, but they hope to remain friends and continue to support each other moving forward. So, why did Amy and Chris decide to divorce? While the couple has been relatively private about the specific reasons, there are a few key factors that seem to have played a role. First, the pressures of living in the spotlight can be incredibly challenging. Little People, Big World has been on the air for over a decade, and the constant scrutiny that comes with fame can strain even the strongest relationships. Amy and Chris were no exception, and it's likely that their relationship suffered under the weight of public expectations. Second, differences in lifestyle and priorities might have contributed to their decision. Amy has always been a very independent person, and she enjoys being active, traveling, and spending time with her family. Chris, on the other hand, might have had different ideas about what his life after marriage should look like. Over time, those differences may have become more pronounced. Lastly, it's possible that after years of challenges in her previous marriage, Amy simply realized that she deserved something different. As much as she cared for Chris, it's clear that their relationship didn't work out in the long term. Since the divorce announcement, Amy has continued to stay positive and focused on her family. She's been spending more time with her children and grandchildren, and she's found solace in being around those she loves. Amy's fans have rallied around her, showing her nothing but love and support during this difficult time. Meanwhile, Chris has largely remained out of the public eye. While he hasn't spoken in depth about the split, it's clear that both he and Amy are trying to navigate this new chapter of their lives in the best way possible. Fans of the show have been both shocked and saddened by the news of their divorce. Many were hopeful that Amy and Chris would have a long and happy marriage, especially after watching them find love after their previous heartbreaks. However, some fans were more understanding, acknowledging that sometimes, despite love, things don't work out. Ultimately, fans have shown empathy, recognizing that both Amy and Chris deserve happiness, whatever that may look like for them moving forward. And that's the story of Amy Roloff and Chris Murek's relationship, marriage, and divorce. It's certainly been a journey, and we wish them both the best as they move forward in their respective lives. We want to know your thoughts. How do you feel about their split? Leave your comments down below. Amy finally reunites all of her kids amid property dispute. Molly, Jeremy, Zach, and Jacob get together. Amy Roloff is sad at the fate of her family, but why? Jacob, Zach, Jeremy, and Molly all gained notoriety on television when the younger brother starred in Little People, Big World. When they participated in LPB as children, these munchkins were a joy to witness. However, a lot has evolved. Except for Zach, they all stopped filming. Their relationship was further damaged by the agricultural feud. However, they recently came together with the best of intentions. They took this action as a Mother's Day surprise for their mother, Amy Roloff. His wife at the time would be busy managing the home and raising their 4 children while Matt Roloff would be working on the farm. Fans of LPBW are therefore well aware that Amy Roloff values her family above everything else. She has frequently been open about several family secrets that haven't been caught on video. In one of her lifetimes, she disclosed that Dawn doesn't spend as much time with her boys, Zach and Jeremy, because they let the farm fight to destroy their relationship. She has always wished for her family to get together and hoist the white flag. Her most recent post also disclosed a very noteworthy development involving Amy. Amy Roloff's 4 children posed for a photo. Jacob and Molly were among them, as were the twins Zach and Jeremy. The LPBW matriarch broke down in tears as she declared that her 4 children were the best gift that God had given her. That her children turned out to be wonderful individuals pleased her. Amy wanted her children to live by their faith every day because it would lead them. She expressed her admiration for them as a clean way to wrap up her message. Once more, fans were moved. Amy, the LPBW star, is incredibly kind and hospitable to her followers. She ultimately provides them with some important information about her family that isn't covered in the show. Fans were unaware that the farm feud was the reason for the brothers' separation in the past. Zach and Jeremy were given the opportunity to bargain with their father for a share of their family's assets. However, in order to draw clients and increase revenue throughout the year, Matt ignored his sons and converted the large property into a short-term rental. Amy coldly stated in her post that she wants her sons Zach and Jeremy to get back together now that neither of them received the property. Their families used to get together at random, she said. However, following tense relations, they only get together for significant occasions. She hoped they would find time to strengthen their relationship once more. Fans of LPBW were grateful for this remark, but they haven't witnessed the Roloff twins take any action. However, Amy's Mother's Day Instagram post showed that the family still has hope for a reconciliation. Amy Roloff is sad at the fate of her family, but why? Viewers of LPBW are undoubtedly already aware that Zach Roloff, a TLC star, attempted to talk to his father about purchasing Amy's former share of the property. He acknowledged that Matt's demands were significantly more than the property's actual value. But Karen, Matt's girlfriend, is accused of interfering with the family company and creating a furious argument between them. Zach and his wife Tori made the decision to go to Washington after Zach was unable to persuade his father. However, even when Zach gives up on Matt, the hatred continues. Amy Roloff, though, seems to enjoy it. As a result, Amy Roloff laments the continuous hostility between her ex-husband, Matt Roloff, and their children, Zach and Jeremy Roloff. The entire Roloff family is embroiled in the father-son dispute since Matt won't sell the land. Amy had hoped the dispute would be settled, but it would take a miracle. Amy discussed her aspirations for the new year and the shortcomings in her family's connections with her husband, Chris Murik, in a recent edition of LPBW. She acknowledged that she is still torn about Matt's decision to maintain the property. Amy expressed her sadness about her children's suffering, despite her assurances that she and Chris would assist during the previous pumpkin season. Amy was aware that her children would most likely not be present. The matriarch of Little People, Big World, talked candidly about her child's divergent perspectives on the farm. Despite the fact that Roloff Farms will always be a family farm, Amy said she could appreciate Zach and Jeremy's wish to temporarily relocate. Amy, though, believes Zach no longer considers the property to be his. After all the changes, Amy thinks that time will be a great healer for the family. She was very clear that the family is still not together. Chris, her spouse, is still hoping for a reunion, though. However, a lot of LPBW fans have blamed Karen of needlessly causing friction in the family. Zach and Tori, though, seem content with their decision to leave Roloff Farms. Aside from the turmoil, the couple's current priorities are spending more time with their 3 children. Speaking of Jeremy, he just bought a property that was similar to the one he grew up on with his wife, Audrey Roloff. Actually, his childhood house is only 8 minutes away. Matt Roloff has been a regular on Little People, Big World. Throughout his life, the audience has witnessed many highs and lows for him and his farm. However, the entire family has suffered as a result of the most recent turmoil. This is because after buying a piece from their father, the LPBW star's children, Jeremy and Zach, expressed interest in moving to the property. Unfortunately, Matt didn't think any of them was a good fit. As a result, their dreams were not realized. The increasing gap between Matt and Zach's family is thus the main theme of each episode. TLC has not provided any updates regarding the renewal, but sources claim that Matt also provided confirmation during the pumpkin season. The patriarch is still unsure about going back to the show, according to the most recent story. He usually makes decisions at the last minute after all. They claimed that the family's farm crisis, which has caused a significant rift, makes the show's future shaky. Additionally, Matt is aware that the show is nearing its natural end after all these years. However, neither the renewal nor the cancellation are confirmed until TLC issues a comment on the matter. Amy Roloff shares smart hack that makes life easier for little people. For more than 15 years, television personality, baker, and motivational speaker Amy Roloff has been sharing her life with the globe. Her most well-known role was as a star of the Roloff family-focused TLC reality series Little People, Big World. In addition, Amy has established a charity foundation, started an online bakery, authored multiple books, and given motivational speeches. She is a proud grandmother of 5 and mother of 4. But being a small person, Amy still has to deal with several difficulties on a daily basis. One of these, the LPBW star's grocery shopping tips, was recently shared on her Instagram stories. To find out more about Amy's shopping technique and other strategies, scroll down to the section below. Gordon and Patricia Knight were the parents of LPBW star Amy Roloff, who was born in Michigan. The star was born with a short human anatomy due to hereditary dwarfism. Amy married Matt Roloff after meeting him. The ex-couple currently has 4 children together. In 2016, the couple declared their divorce owing to marital discord.